Watch out, Scully! Ah! Hey, ghouls. Welcome back to Reading Wednesdays. Excuse my landing there. Hold on, let me pick up my stuff. Got my broom. I got my hat. Be right back. Welcome, ghouls, to another episode of Reading Wednesdays. So every Wednesday, join us for Reading Wednesdays, where me and Scully are gonna read a passage from my new book, the first installment of the series, Whispers of the Forgotten Magic, Book 1, Heirs of the Forgotten Magic. And if you ghouls want to follow along, you could purchase my book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So today we're going to read a passage from Chapter 1, The House at the Edge of Night Hollow, page 4, paragraph 3. Night Hollow didn't much care for fantasy or magic, except curiously in October. Very peculiar. Right, Scully? Then the town transformed. Halloween wasn't a single night, but a month-long livery. Can you ghouls imagine? That's the dream. Streets swelled with decorations, shop windows draped in silvery cobwebs that twinkled like dew-laced spider silk under the street lamps. Oh, that sounds magical. I could literally smell the Halloween in the air right now. I don't know about you ghouls, but I sense it. Each strand anchoring to carved gargoyle heads, peering down with mischievous grins. Between them, clusters of antique window boxes spilled over with black chrysanthemums and smoldering lanterns shaped like grinning jack-o'-lanterns, their candle wicks dancing in the breeze, casting skeleton shadows that slithered across the sidewalk. On every porch, squat pumpkins bore wicked expression, their mouths ajar in toothy snares. Some were painted with intricate midnight blue ruins. Others were crowned with rusted crow skulls or ringed in garlands of twisting dried vines and blood-red berries. Iron lantern hooks held bobbing witch hat lanterns, their conical silhouettes flickering as though alive. Cornstalk bundles leaned against storeframes, wrapped in gauzy strips of black lace, while life-size scarecrow figures, ragged cloaks, cinched at the waist with twisted ropes, stood guard, hollow eyes aglow with orange light. Above all, strings of tiny smoky amber bulbs snaked between lampposts, their subtle glow mingling with drifting wisps of dry ice mist. Rusted skeleton hands clutched at wrought iron fences, pointing toward doorsteps strewn with cinnamon, spice, hay bales, in clusters of painted gourds. From hidden speakers came the soft rattle of distant thunder and the whisper of chanting leaves, wrapping the whole block in a shiver of expectant magic, an invitation to step through moonlight portals into the heart of Halloween's spell. A warm, buttery sweetness drifted on the breeze, the scent of caramel apples mingling with the earthy tang of roasted chestnuts and the spiced aroma of cider. Crisp autumn air carried the faint sugar crackle as stick-to-your-fingers ribbons of caramel wrapped glossy fruits on wooden carts. Beneath a canopy, bare branches, the hush of hovering bats added a velvet stillness, wings beating in near silent rhythm, their soft murmurs scarcely more than a breath against the night. Occasional drips of sticky caramel pattered to the pavement, echoing like tiny bells, while the distant creak of half-open gate surrounded like a sigh from an unseen centennial. In the warm glow of jack-o'-lantern clusters, you could almost taste the cinnamon and nutmeg swirling through the air, tempered by the faintest hint of smoky wood smoke from hidden fire pits. Every corner held a whisper, rustling leaves skittering across wrought iron gates, the soft drum of heartbeats in costumes just beyond the lamplight, and the distant thrill of a lone owl greeting the midnight hour. Together, these sensations wove a spell of anticipation, so that every inhalation felt charged with the purpose of enchantment and the thrill of a ghost story waiting to unfold. For those who still carried that spark of wonder, and for the few who felt magic stirring in their veins, this was freedom. They did not have to fit in, and they could finally shine. Cloaked as witches, warriors, fairies, or ghosts, they walked without fear of ridicule. Instead of sideways glances, they earned admiring smiles for their boundless creativity. For this time of year, everyone embraces the strange and unusual. Their costumes were declarations, visible and wearable proof of the worlds they carried inside. For a month, they appeared to be what they truly felt. For many, it was like coming home. Under October's pale moon, the veil between realms thinned. Nights grew longer, the air hung heavy with expectation, and that stillness almost allowed the impossible to slip through. Ghosts of old world wandered unseen among trick-or-treaters, a dragon's breath steering a swirl of leaves, a fairy's laughter riding a sudden breeze. They hid not behind glamour or illusion, but in plain sight, because no one believed they could be real. Sometimes these visitors sought out their descendants, lingering at the edge of a lantern's glow. Sometimes they offered a knowing glance, as if to whisper, "I see you." Most passed without a trace. Only a few felt the brush of something otherworldly against their skin, a pulse in their blood that whispered, "Magic is not gone." Thank you, ghouls, for joining me today on Reading Wednesday. And again, if you ghouls want to follow along, you can get my book, Whispers of the Forgotten Magic, on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And I'll see you next time, ghouls. Bye!